'cause we're the Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, Miami Dolphins #1. Yes, we're the
Good evening, Dolphins fans. Welcome to another episode of the best, most positive Dolphins show on all the internet, the Fins Bandwagon. Good evening, Dolphin fans. Well, look who's back. Welcome to another episode of the Fins Bandwagon. I have to go find the right thing. Where am I? Here we go.
There
I haven't
we
done this
are.
in a while. Guys, already screwed up because we haven't been on the air in a couple of months. But look who's back. Yours truly, Evan Posner, Fins Pos, and Fins to win. My dad, look who's back, my co-host. What's up, Pops?
It's me and you. It's me and
We're
you,
back.
son.
We're
You
back.
know, I missed you.
I missed
No
you too.
coddling, no bottle. No diaper changes.
No.
I miss
been
those
suffering.
days.
I know. I
miss
was
those
suffering.
days.
We were suffering from withdrawal. But you know what was suffering? The Fins Talk Sports Network without this positivity. I'm telling you, all this realistic nonsense and these low expectations and hedging your bets. I got really tired of it. I said to Bobby, it's time to bring back the bandwagon. And when I heard that you wanted to join me back on the bandwagon, we're now going to have some real positivity on this network. It's what this network needs, Dad. It's what we need.
Shot of energy right into it, baby. Right into it.
So how you doing? How was the drive down?
The
to
drive
Miami
down
today?
was long and tedious, being as I'm getting old. But on the way down, I met a lot of nice people. They wanted to take pictures, and that's fun. I like to hang out with people, but I was in a hurry to get down here so I could get ready for the broadcast. So,
but
I was kind of
appreciate
rushing
it.
people. I was like, "Yeah, come here, hurry up, come here."
No, I appreciate it though. Welcome back. I'm happy you got there safely. You're looking forward to training camp, gentlemen. You're looking forward to training camp tomorrow?
Oh, absolutely. My wife and I, we don't usually do training camp. And I said, you know what? Let's go down for one. Let's go down for one and see how it is. I always hear it's really hot. So, that's why I usually, that and it's like 3-hour drive down. So we don't usually come down.
No, it's a really fun experience. I got to take my kids last year. For the kids, it's a lot of fun. You just need to, right, like we were talking about earlier, prior to the show, go under the covers, go under the shade, go find a place there and just have some fun. Honestly, it's just nice to be able to look around and see the one-on-one drills and the 11-on-11s and the 3-on-3. It's a lot of fun. It really is. It's really a lot of fun. So the reason we're here tonight, everyone, is to reinvigorate everyone about the Miami Dolphins and why we're excited about this upcoming season. We'll talk about what's happening on the training camp, but also just wanted to let you know that we hope to be all together this season. We're going to have a lot of positive things to talk about. Hank's been a regular on Fins Talk today. I've taken a little hiatus because of family obligations, vacation. I was down in Miami. I got to spend a lot of money on new gear. Look, guys, if you remember, I was Mr. Mike McDaniel negative, but I'm now going to wear this T-shirt in honor of him. I'm giving it another shot. He's no longer a rookie head coach. No more excuses.
Evan pulls the old Miami Mike out.
The Miami Mike, exactly. So it's really, really great. Daniel, thank you so much. We'll get to your question a little bit later, but we'll gladly talk about that. It'll be great.
Fins up, Daniel Cap.
Yeah, we're going to talk about this question as we go through training camp and all that today. Welcome, Cap. What's up? So, and don't worry, guys. Well, during the course of the season and during the course of our shows, we're always going to drop the link, and we'll have everyone say, because we're all Dolphin fans and we're all on the bandwagon, whether you're realistic or whether you're on the fence. If you cheer for the Miami Dolphins, we'll give you a slight pass. But you better jump on the bandwagon before game one, because after that, there's no more room. No more excuses. You can't jump off.
What do you mean?
You'll be
There's
thrown off.
always plenty of room on the bandwagon.
Exactly. So one of the first topics I actually want to talk about, Dolphins flea market. No, Caneswear, buddy. I love Caneswear, buddy. Davie, Florida. Guys are great people. They ship all across North America. They're great, reasonable prices. They were great. One topic I really want to lead off with, because I really want to focus on the positive, but I want to focus on someone who's truly negative. And hey, Fish Tank, you didn't have the chance to talk about get a chance to talk about this since Sunday, and I want to get it out of the way. A couple days ago on ESPN, which is the leading network for sports, their talking head Stephen A. went after the Miami Dolphins. So today he talked about how Tyreek Hill is the best wide receiver, but he really could not get out of his own way. And Bobby and Steve did talk about it briefly at the end of Real Talk Fins Talk on Tuesday, but he really went after McDaniel and started bringing up last season how you and I have always enjoyed his spiel about his soliloquies, talking about the team, analyzing it. And he started talking how he started ripping him on he doesn't believe in what he says. I can't listen to this man. I think he's a good coach. Yeah. But he started ripping him. But he said, if I saw him face to face, I'd apologize. But so what are your thoughts on the fact that already, before the season already starts, because I have my say, that this talking head who is a Jets fan, a Steelers fan, is already ripping our coach, blaming him for something that happened last season where he literally didn't have the control. It was up to the doctors, and it was up to other people. Why live in the past? Why aren't you focusing on the future?
Yeah, he should focus on the future and what's going to happen. And he knows already with Vic Fangio there, that's two coaches instead of one. So just bringing him in and those two working together, I'm sure Mike McDaniel's going to learn a lot from him off of his tree, because Vic has a lot of info to put out for sure, being a head coach previously himself and everything else. And I think that Steven's cutting us short a little bit there. He doesn't want to hear him talk and doesn't want to listen to his face. All right, so don't. Why do you keep on doing it then? He keeps on going back for more. Notice he was back again today. So he's not going to stop.
He's not going to stop. And one thing was interesting is if I recall, he was the guy who was very down on the Dolphins, what they did to Flores. So I think he already has a bone to pick because of obviously the race card and all that. I think he's already giving Mike McDaniel a hard time, but Mike McDaniel's a minority too, in theory. So in his life, in his livelihood. So you want to know what? Give the guy a break. He's you can't ever. There's many people to go around to blame when something like that happens, and you can't just target one person because of it, right? So in the end, the same way with the Dolphins, but we're talking about how coaches are going after coaches this week with Sean Payton and all that, with Nathaniel Hack. On this show, let's focus on the positive, but that's one thing. I don't need to hear it. There's no such thing as bad publicity for the Miami Dolphins, and Mike McDaniel, actually, he's going to use it as fuel the same way Tua does. You talk negative about our team, we're only going to prove you wrong, right?
Yeah.
And that's even better. So for me, that's what I took from that. For me, it just I lost respect for that. I used to watch First Take to get it because I appreciate the candidness of what he has to say, but at the same time, don't go after my team. You want to talk about how they're playing. You want to talk about on the field performance, but you're not in that room. You were not there. Stop going backwards. Let's focus on the going forward. That's the key for me.
So what's the positive spin on him being negative? I'll tell you. His word doesn't mean garbage. That's the positive spin, and our team is going to excel this year. There's no way our team can excel. Fins up, Adam. We're set up. It's designed to go. We're designed for speed. We're designed for yards. We're set up with Vic Fangio on defense. We're going to have one of the best defenses out there, I bet. I almost guarantee we're going to have it, in my opinion. Just having Vic Fangio around just elevates the whole defense twofold. So I see us doing a great job, and I'm looking forward to the season starting. I'm also looking forward to going to watch training camp tomorrow too.
You're going to have some fun with that. Just keep your eyes on a swivel because they split up and you're listening to this amazing music. And we're going to talk about, I'm going to let you know, I'm going to predict who the orange jerseys will be tomorrow. So you're going to be listening to some very interesting music tomorrow. You're going to have a good laugh. I'll talk about that in a few minutes. But no, for me, the positive spin is that one thing that I've loved about, and I was in Miami, I was watching a lot of Miami news and all that. Miami's in the news. Now, we talked about that last season. No news is bad news for me because you're talking about the Dolphins as being, whether you think they're hit or miss or whatever it is, we're in the news and there's always something going on. And that's the best part. We're a popular team. And the best part was, you wouldn't believe the amount of people. I was traveling all across the United States and I was wearing my Dolphins gear from Canada all the way up to Florida when I drove back and forth. But I wore my Dolphin stuff and people were stopping at me, go Fins, Fins up. The amount of people I was meeting across the country, as we've always talked about, it's insane. The fever of Miami Dolphins in this community. It's amazing. All across the world. Didn't matter if I was in the Carolinas, if I was in New Jersey. It didn't matter where I was. It was a lot of fun. So it's great. So, anyways, it won't be X, but I'll tell you why. But so one thing let's talk a little bit about what happened at training camp today. And I'll give you some feedback. So right away, let's talk about the defense. One thing about the defense because you brought up Vic Fangio. So give you a little bit of a breakdown. The D-line is out of this world. Christian Wilkins is playing as if he doesn't have a contract. Ironically, he doesn't really have a contract. The man is mauling over people. And tomorrow, I predict you'll be listening to Hamilton because Christian Wilkins is going to be coming out with that orange jersey tomorrow. The guy was literally taking Liam Eichenberg and he's basically giving Liam Eichenberg, he's going to lose his job. He got demoted today. He literally is mauling him over. He does not stand a chance against Christian Wilkins. Zach Sealer made Connor Williams look like a turnstile today. It was unbelievable. That center of the defensive line, it was murderous today. It was phenomenal.
Yeah,
it's really great.
I continue to worry about our depth on that line, though.
Yeah.
So, but I believe they're going to get a lot of that situated and straightened out before the season starts. I'm not too concerned, but it is a worry, just like the offensive line and the linebackers. Those are the two positions that I always concern myself with every year, unfortunately.
Yeah, we all do it. But
hopefully it flips it around this year and the linebackers perform like crazy under Vic Fangio's new defense, and we get a few breaks.
Yeah, no, but it's true. But that defense, you could see that those two players are playing for a contract. I wouldn't say the same thing about Emmanuel Ogbah. He's doing his thing. I think he needs to be more on the ground instead of standing up the whole time. Raekwon Davis, nose tackle, is keeping himself very, very busy, but that line is having a field day on that offensive line. They're trying out different people. Kendall Lamb, Cotton, they're all trying different people. Connor Williams was a little bit overthrowing Tua a little bit today on the snaps, but the O-line did what Robert Hunt and all that are doing what they need to do, but hopefully win in that group. I really do have a prediction. I'll make it tonight. All the best to Liam Eichenberg, but he is a secondary player. He is not a starter. And for the best of this team, a hammer time. What's up?
Time.
I would not start him.
That's my faithful right there. Hammer time.
Yeah, I know he's right. I'll go play DT and edge. It's true, Captain. I would like to see him in the trenches a little bit more, but no, that the line's going to be set because they're playing with a chip on their shoulder. At the same time, he mentioned before Fangio. Yeah, Fangio is doing a great job in practice. I'll talk a little bit more about the backs, but him and McDaniel don't wear orange because it clashes. It matches their Fangio has very orange skin, so it doesn't really go well together. I don't think it goes very well together. But no, the defense was doing well. You're having some fun here, buddy. But
my skin's all red all the time. So.
Yeah, his is a little orange. But no, one thing that was really great to see today is that on the defense, a little bit more, was the fact that Deshaun Elliott was knocking down passes and that X picked off Tua on a really tight throw. Nice. X looks very, very healthy. And then Cam Smith, I'm telling you, I said this, I think I commented 2 nights ago on this.
I've heard nothing but good things on him.
People think he needs to intercept the ball. Leave that to Howard. If he's knocking down balls similar to what Byron Jones was doing in Dallas and then when he first started with us, that's his role. But right now, Cater's having a good time. If you have to move him to the slot instead of Needham, who's on pup, move him there. Let Cam Smith be the starter with maybe Eli Apple. But man, oh man, this guy is proving himself to be a surefire pick because he's knocking balls down like crazy today.
Yeah, they said that they've been saying that he's just phenomenal. Every day somebody tells me something positive about him. Fins up, TJ.
Yeah. I want to go back because we're talking a little bit about the defense. Daniel had a question that he mentioned. What do you think about bringing in Navarro Bowman to work with the linebackers? For me, the more the merrier.
I was about to say the same thing.
Because outside of David Long, who I think got a little screwed over because Waddle was actually wearing the orange jersey today, but David Long on the first day with pads was a couple days ago was mauling people over. That guy, when he stays healthy, is a beast. He's an absolute beast. So For me, I truly believe that anything can help. If Vic Fangio can pick up the phone and get anybody to show up to practice, you know what I mean? People last week said that on the first day of the practice, when you saw Zach Thomas there, they were playing for Zach. Like, and the more help you can get in with that defense, the more the merrier. I'm all good with it.
Absolutely.
Because right now, the linebackers, like you said, we're positive about that. David Long, I think, is a key cog. Channing Tyndall was doing his job today. I felt he had a decent day at camp. So you want to know what? All the better. Holland's doing his thing. Brandon Jones and Nick Needham are on pup, so we're not going to see much of them just yet. But if Elliott and the new guys with Cam Smith and all that are doing their job, it's all the better for me. But for me, I can't. Me and Wilkins and Sealer, that gives me honestly, I'm salivating because I think that's actually the plan of Greer. People don't give Greer enough credit. You want to know what? With signing of players, you guys have been talking about it on Fins Talk today. We want to sign this guy. What's going to happen here? What's going to happen there? In the end, Eli Apple is on this team because of Vic Fangio, because they brought in other guys to try him out. If Mike McDaniel and Vic Fangio want a certain player, Rick Spear is a yes man. He's going to go out and get him.
Did you see how quick they got Eli Apple? That was quick.
Yeah, very quick. And they tried other guys out too. And they're bringing in new guys every year to fill up the roster because they have people on pups so they can fill it up. And I just love it. I just love the intensity, and I love how hard they're working. But the one thing that you're going to be disappointed in today, because we'll talk about the offense, is today was the first day that they brought in refs. And tomorrow when you're there, you're probably going to see referees. And the one thing that I would put on McDaniel, but I think I'm happy they got it out the first day, there were a lot of pre-snap penalties. So there was a lot of 5, 6 pre-snap penalties on the O-line. They need to figure that out very, very quickly. That was what killed us last year. They better figure that out. What's up, Terry? They really, really, really need to figure that out. And then there was a couple of DPIs with Cater and that, but that's one thing that was the number one thing. But I'm happy they're getting it out in the first day. Let it figure out at training camp because you want to know what? Let them get it out of the way now. Like I'm happy at the beginning of training camp, we're figuring out what it is. I want them to know in the first week of August potentially who the starters are because I don't want this to go.
Who's making what mistakes in the beginning early. I like that they're getting that out of the way.
Yeah, like Eichenberg, I think is very AJ Austin Jackson. From what I'm told, is doing his job. And from what I'm seeing, he's doing his job. But the guard spot is wide open, wide open. Yeah, Eichenberg is not proving himself.
I was hoping Wynn was going to be in there.
Wynn can get there. I think it's going to be a battle between Wynn and Jones. I think it's going to be one of those battles between the two of them because I think. But in the end, I think they're going to rely on Wynn to be a swing tackle. I think they're really worried that if Jackson doesn't work out, put him there, and then unless Kendall Lamb just outshines everyone like that. At least there's depth there. It just we don't feel it's necessarily. I think we wouldn't all be talking about this if we all thought that Kendall Lamb won the position as a veteran and that the guard had Wynn as a veteran. If we went into the season with Wynn, Armstead, Williams, Hunt, and Lamb, I think people would be quiet. I think it's the fact that those two guys still developing is the concern, that they're still trying to get them to that level. And I think that's the hold back a little bit. But in the end, the pre-snap penalties was the negative of the day, but the positive is there's always tomorrow, and Fish Tank is there tomorrow, so the positivity will be there as well. The one thing that happened today also was the wide receiver room. What was very interesting to see about that one was the fact that Braxton Berrios is solidifying himself as the number 3.
Really?
I think Chosen has basically gotten about 2 catches and about 20 snaps. He's running fast, but he's not really getting the ball, or he's not catching the ball very often. But Berrios is showing that in the slot and wherever he needs to be, he's actually winning that job. Wilson is standing out there and doing what he needs to do as maybe a 4-5. But Chosen might, I think you mentioned this on Fins Talk today, he might be the odd man out, Robbie Chosen. But Berrios, because Berrios knows he has a job as a kick returner and on special teams, but he's really showing to give himself like a Wes Welker, Danny Amendola, that feel that this no-nonsense kid who's really proving himself, a Miami guy. He's really showing himself really, really well at camp, which is really good to see. So I think watch out for him tomorrow because I think he's really proving himself to be a really, really, really key WR3 for this team. So I'm good for the kid, right? I missed that Wes Welker. feel to the team.
Yeah. Well, Barrios, I believe it could be one or two things. He can also be a punt returner and all that stuff too.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
So it's not like he's a one-trick pony either.
No.
So I like that, and McDaniel will exploit people with that, having that ability with a type of player. I'm not going to say he's Debo Samuel, but, he can do some of those things that Debo used to do for the 49 or with the 49ers while McDaniel was there.
Yeah. One thing that when it came to the other wide receivers today, Hill's been dropping a lot of balls, so watch out for him tomorrow. But he was making some nice passes, nice catches today. Waddle's doing his thing. He had the orange jersey. And McDaniel actually said in his press conference that it's not just about the performance that the person has during the camp. It's really what they do as a teammate and as a player, helping the other team, his fellow comrades on the field, and that's been great. One thing that's also been amazing is Jalen Ramsey. Talk about this. Byron Jones, even if you sent out Rob as a former police officer and the entire search party, you could not find Byron Jones. This guy, Jalen Ramsey, every day is saying 3 up, 4 up, 5 up. He's counting every day that he's been out and how quickly he's getting back. And he's on the field working with the corners and Sam Madison every single practice.
I love it.
People don't think he's invested in this team.
He's invested for sure.
He's invested. And trust me, he'll be back. And honestly, I'd rather have him back 100%. And you want to know what? Ironically, what month is the month that we've all been worried about and struggled for entire lives as Miami Dolphin fans? The month of December. If he comes back end of November, beginning of December, you understand what a kind of a punch, what kind of a motivating factor that is for a team that you're getting the number 1 rated cornerback in the NFL back for the stretch run of the season.
Yeah, I love it.
That's insane. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. And we know we haven't for a number of years. It's great.
Bad things happen, but you know what? Good things are going to happen toward the end of the season when we desperately need it. We're going to get, like you said, we're going to get that shot, that injection. Yeah. We're going to be ready.
Yeah. The other drills they did today, which was interesting, was the running backs versus the linebackers. And as you know and I know and we all agree, a running back, if they can't block for Tua, forget it. I don't want you on the field because last year that happened a few times where they would just get mauled over. Like what's his name? Chase Edmonds just got mauled over when he was a Dolphin.
Yeah.
But people would think A-Chain, being a small guy, he was holding his own in practice. Like he was really holding his own. And this would make Bobby very, very happy. Alec Ingold, I know he's a fullback, but he's doing his job in training camp. He's looked really strong compared to last year. So for me, the running backs are doing their job. They're actually blocking correctly. The one area where I think the thing that would concern me a little bit was the tight end. Connor's still out a little bit, but Saubert dropped some passes today. So we really don't have that pass catching tight end but anyways, we weren't utilizing them much last year anyways, but that's one thing I really want them to work on. Hopefully they can find that one key guy who could be that slot guy. Or just keep one less tight end and keep an extra wide receiver and make them the slot more and have more than one slot receiver. But in the end, the running backs were actually doing their job pretty well overall. But A-Chain, I'm telling you, this season him and Cam Smith are going to be talked about. We had Waddle, but Waddle was during a time where we were not, where we knew we were growing as a team and we knew we were struggling. And then he was getting every pass. But A-Chain is competing with 4 or 5 other guys. Cam Smith is in a very deep cornerback room, and these guys are shining. And that's amazing. You want to know what? People can rip Greer and rip. I don't rip Greer. Why do I rip Greer? Because he's done something for me that I haven't got to experience in my life since Marino and Ricky Williams. I have not been able to watch this many star players on one team, a team that I love and have lived for.
We haven't had this complete of a team in over 40 years.
Hank, you're driving around in this beautiful Corvette, draped in Dolphin stuff.
Yeah.
If you were doing that 5 years ago, people would basically say, "Are you crazy?" Now, when people see you driving that car, they want to take pictures with you. They want to take pictures of the car because people are proud to be associated with this team. It's a cool thing to be. It's a cool thing to do. We're the cool thing. We're the cool thing around the block. We're not just a fad. This year we're a group that's fun. You're gonna see the environment tomorrow. It's a party. It's fun, and that's what we all want to be doing. We want to have some fun. So for me, that's what I'm looking forward to the most. In terms of the quarterbacks, one thing that's been noticing the last couple of days, because I know people have been talking about, people are really convinced that Skyler is a competition with Mike White. Mike White is playing well. He's a Miami kid, and he's finding the holes where he needs to do. And yes, is he a star? No, but he likes to play up, and he's actually been doing his job. Tua did get picked today. There's only been about 3-4 picks, but that was X, and it was in very double coverage. But that's obviously part of practice. But Tua's finding some holes. He's doing what he needs to do. I want to actually ask you this question because there was actually a disagreement between two news reporters today. Do you believe that that all quarterbacks can make any open throw, or do you believe that that getting a throw to a wide open guy is just part of the job? On outside the numbers, on the sidelines, because that's always something people think. Because people think if you make it to the NFL, any quarterback can make that open pass. Because today there was a play where they were sort of doing 11-11. They thought it was press. They put Noah on Tyreek. He pressed a little too much and sort of a zone coverage. And then Tyreek got by him because Noah fell. He was towards the sideline, and Tua put it right in the breadbasket. And people were saying, "Well, that's an easy pass. That's no big deal," because he was wide open by 10 yards. And I go to myself, I actually think, like, I don't know about you, when in any sport I've ever played, when something is wide open, it's actually, I find it actually harder because you hesitate because you think it's too easy, and then you either overthrow or you underthrow it, or it slips because you think it's so easy. So you, as a proud Dolphin fan, and as a football aficionado, do you find that quarterbacking is, it's an open pass, anyone can make that throw, or do you find that it's just because it's Tua that people give it a hard knock?
I think it's just because of Tua they're giving him a hard knock all the time. I mean, nobody's given this kid a chance from the very beginning, and he was put in a bad situation, being thrown out there too early and everything else, and we all know that. But the good part is, this is Tua's second year in the same offense. So guess what? Have fun. Have fun with that, because now they actually all know the plays.
But it's unbelievable. Can you believe it? It's unbelievable. Every player who plays on this team said they didn't understand the playbook. And we still had one of the top 5 offenses in the league. It's unbelievable. Like, Tyreek Hill wasn't lying. It was, people said, Skyler said, I've now only begun to understand this playbook. So if they're only understanding it now, it's amazing. So you get the yips, Chuck Knobloch, second baseman, famous for missing give me through. Of course.
Fins up, Scotty.
Yesterday I was playing softball, and I was pitching, and the ball came right a little. I had to run and get it, and I palmed it instead of throwing it with 3 fingers on a softball, and it went over the guy's head, and he had to jump. He got it down, but I overthrew it because you think it's so easy when it's a simple play, and people overthink it. Right? Yeah. When that's what happens when things seem easy. Look at these gimmies. Like when people are kicking field goals, Jason Sanders. I'm going to give him another. I think there should be competition for him in the kicking room. He's the only one who doesn't have competition. But he had the yips last year, like 40-yarders that he could usually do in his sleep. He could not kick for his life. You knew when you walked away, when he moment he came on the field, you knew he was going to screw up. But you have to be more. Give him another chance, and the mulligan, you'll figure it out this year.
Yeah.
But also make it hard on them. Like, that's why. Like, I want these practices to be hard, nasty. I want them to be drills. I love the fact that they're wearing pads. I like the fact that they're going 100 miles an hour against each other. That's what I want to see. I want them to get angry. I want you there tomorrow, and I want to see a brawl. Like, I want to see these guys. They're family. Like, they're going after each other. They're having fun. That's what I want to see. Like, Aubrey Miller and Devon Achane have been going after each other. I love Aubrey Miller. I think from he played with Deion Sanders last year at Jackson State. That guy's a little guy, but he's built. And him and Achane are going after each other. They're pushing each other. Next day, they're chilling with each other. That's family. And you're going to see it tomorrow. It's the family-orientedness, the fun, the kids, the part. That's what it is. Let's have a party. That's what the bandwagon's about. That's what this team is about. And wait till you see Tua tomorrow. Like, the guy's ginormous now. His neck is ginormous. His build, his front. And even what's his name said, McDaniel in his press conference, the confidence level that Tua is now exerting because of it, all the better. it's all the better. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
He's basically saying, speaking of special teams, who else saw the Turk get cut? You want to know what? They signed Jake Bailey, and Jake Bailey is a veteran. We paid him like $4 million a year. He was one of the best kickers when he played in New England. It's too bad, but you want to know what? They have to do what they have to do, right? They're going to stick with the veterans. This team, they'll find the niches with the rookies they drafted, but he was an undrafted free agent. There's only so many undrafted free agents like Kader Kohu are you going to find, right? There's a diamond in the rough, and I think the diamond in the rough probably is Aubrey Miller, probably of the undrafted group. But let practice play out, and let's see what happens. But for me, it's just so exciting to be. I haven't had a chance to talk about this throughout the year, and I like you were talking about Vic Fangio, seeing him there on the sideline, seeing Mike McDaniel, seeing the ambiance, the camaraderie of this team. It's phenomenal. It's great. For me. But what are you most excited about to see tomorrow? Like, what are you looking forward to? What are you going to be looking forward to seeing tomorrow? What are you going to be watching out for?
I'm going to be watching the the defensive line up front. I'm going to be watching them a lot. I want to see how they're. I also want to see the defensive ends and see how they're getting after the quarterback.
Yeah.
I want to see if they're getting after the quarterback, and I'm hoping that it's not everybody running through Eichenberg like a zone cone again. You know what I mean? One of those orange cones.
You won't see him much. But also remember, when you go to practice, you're not allowed to say who played brutally with who's on first team, who's on second team. That's actually it's like a taboo. You're not allowed to say things on live television, anywhere publicly about what people saw. You can observe, but you can't actually say who played where on first. If it seemed like they were on first team or on second team or all that, it's very taboo. They like to. It's funny. They invite fans, they invite all the media, but you don't have to say anything. It's very, very funny. But anyway, what do they expect? What do they expect? People are going to blab. You can't hide these things from people.
No,
you know what I mean, but no, but hopefully, I hope for beautiful weather for you, and it's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to see that. But honestly, I'm finding that the quarterbacks are doing what they need to do. It's still very, very early. But the D line, I think, is doing what they need to do. The offensive line is, without Armstead, like we've always said, is hitter. It's like I said, it's the one position right now. There's competition at corner because of Ramsey being out, but the competition for that guard and tackle position is still wide open in my mind. I think Mostert, out of respect, will probably get the start if we don't sign a running back. I'm still convinced that they're still going to. What's up, Ralphie boy?
Fins up, Ralphie.
Welcome back, buddy. Yeah, enjoy the show. The defense on the out. I think though the running back is. I think they're still going to pick someone up, whether it's Zeke, whether it's Kareem Hunt, whether it's. I really think that they're going to do something because I think Gaskin has been a disappointed in training camp, and I think that they want to solidify themselves with another veteran. Cook, there's no way he's going to the Jets. He even said he doesn't even think he's willing to take his time. If you really want to sign, he hasn't visited with the Dolphins yet, right? He went to see the Jets. He spent a day there, and he's mulling it over. If you really want to sign with them, he's using it as leverage for the Dolphins. Like, he just wants the Dolphins to give him a little bit more. And I haven't expressed myself how I felt about that yet. But for me, if we're offering him 2 years for $8, I'd offer him 2 years for 10. He's already getting 2, so that makes it really 2 years, 12. Give him an incentive for an extra $1 million, so he gets to so he can get to 13 million, whatever it is he wants. Get him to $7 million plus his 2 million plus the incentives, and bring him in if you think he's the right fit and he's going to help your football team. Because
if you think he's the right fit, you definitely need to bring him in. And not only that, you can't let him go to an opponent. You can't let him go to a division opponent. Of the worst things you could do, that's the worst thing you could do is let him go to the Jets.
Exactly.
So
because
I hope we throw an extra $1 million at him and we get him signed and it's done.
Yeah, because for me, in that mind, they talked about in Real Talk, Vince Talk, how he's not the kind of runner like I love Jonathan Taylor. The thing is, the cost of Jonathan Taylor for the future, it's too much.
Way too much.
Too much. Derrick Henry, too much. I love these players, but this is a guy who really, really wants to be here and is going to play hard for this team. And trust me, the one run from last year that sticks out in my mind is that 54-yard run. We don't have a guy who, maybe A-Chain will get there, but for me, I think he's the right fit. For me, I think he fits this offense, and I think he's a dude. If Cook signs another team, he no longer owed $2 million from Indy. That's true. But is that true? I'm not sure that's true. If that's true, then give him 2 years, 12, and give him an incentive to get to 8. I don't care. You still have the cap room. Yes, you signed Eli Apple for a little over $3 million. Thank you for correcting me, Scotty. I apologize. But at the same time, I think before the first game of the year, Wilkins is going to be re-signed. Steelers are going to be re-signed. If you and maybe Williams might be re-signed, but even if you re-sign Wilkins and you extend him, you gain cap space. So either way, for me, this window of this year is such a big window for me. It's such a key season for me. You and I are on that same wavelength. 12, 13 wins, win the division, win 2, we'll get to the Super Bowl, win 2, do whatever they need to do. And I think they should pull off all the stops right now. I don't want to go into the season with $7-8 million worth of cap space. I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah,
I really don't, because on paper already we're a track team. Add another track star. It does not hurt. And yes, no other team. And people talk about how the Chiefs with Pacheco and people have not had star running backs. He knows Cook, if he comes here, he's not going to be a bell cow. He just wants to be part of this as the so-called lead back. And right away, no offense to Mostert and all these, Mostert's going to get injured. We know Mostert's going to get injured. Cook does get injured once in a while, but he'll get you what you need. The guy's a 1,000-yard rusher, no matter what. Even in this group of five, he'll be a 1,000-yard rusher without even trying. But
I like it.
Yeah. So, but do you believe that Wilkins needs to be re-signed first?
Yeah.
Before you would re-sign Wilkins first?
I would re-sign Wilkins first, absolutely. No doubt.
But I would have re-signed, honestly, every day of training camp, his value goes up. And you're going to see that tomorrow. He's just a beast out there. Like, he wants his money. Also, I think he's trying to prove to Fangio, because I think the green light is going to come from Fangio. The same way I mentioned to you just earlier that Cook is really a McDaniel decision. I don't think it's a Greer decision. Because McDaniel loves A-Chain. If he really wanted this, as a running game coordinator for San Francisco and Houston and Atlanta, if he really, really, really wanted Cook, he would be a Dolphin. I think he's just trying to see. I think he's also trying to pay that. Maybe you think about this. It's like that carrot versus. I think he has that cloud. If Cook was there, I think it would demoralize A-Chain a little bit. I think it might demoralize the running back room. I think the carrot there I think they're trying to get the running backs to prove themselves without having Cook or another guy there to see whether or not they can elevate their game. Because I think they know that if they don't elevate their game at training camp, they're going to bring somebody else in, right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing with the O-line. Someone's going to get cut, and we know we're going to sign another O-lineman. We know players. This is what the point of training camp is. We know the only position that we're not going to go out and sign more people is basically the D-line, the quarterbacks, and the corners, the wide receivers. Everywhere else, whether it's linebacker, O-line, or running back, we could go sign because there's no set piece there that we truly believe has the foundational piece that is proven. There's no superstar.
Nail on the head.
There's no eliteness there. There's no sense of, I truly believe this is our superstar there. There's no Pro Bowler there. There's no Pro Bowler. There's a potential perennial Pro Bowler at quarterback. There's Pro Bowlers galore at wide receiver. There's a Pro Bowler, one Pro Bowler on offensive line. There's multiple Pro Bowlers in the secondary. There's multiple Pro Bowlers on the D line. There's no Pro Bowler yet on the linebacker core or the running back group. So for me, I like the motivational factor of that. I like that actually.
So, absolutely. I think that this team can have at least 10 Pro Bowlers on it.
Oh,
at least 10. At least 10.
Insane.
So we're going to see, everybody has Miami put real low and everything else, just like they do every year. And Miami's going to turn it around this year. We had a 9-8. Oh, well, it happens. But we also were missing half our defense. We also didn't have a good defensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Now we have one of the best in the business.
Cool.
That's gonna be huge. And I said this all last year too, Evan. This team never played a full game together. They never played a complete game on all three phases. That the offense and the defense are gonna be on to some degree this year. I don't see how they couldn't be.
Yeah.
And special teams, they've been working on special teams too. So I'm happy there too. I see a lot of good coming out of what Greer and McDaniel have done and Fangio.
Yeah. I could see them actually special teams putting A-Chain and
Barrios
back there on either corner, because for me, those two are speedsters. They have to do something. You knew and I knew every time the ball got kicked off or punted, until Cedric Wilson did something in that playoff game, we knew that there was not going to be one. No one was running out. No, we were not getting yards. We need to utilize that field position.
Yeah,
we need to put the fear there. But
definitely,
I think you talked about this on Fins Talk today, I believe, and I was going after it, and you guys were going win, 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 or maybe I was talking on Real Talk, Fins Talk, but I think it was with you and Bobby. If we win anything less than, even with Ramsey out, if we win less than 11 games, to me, it's a disappointing season. It was actually, no, you know what it was? It was on Bobby's birthday, and I was talking with Wingate because he predicted 9 wins. And I said to somebody, we had 9 wins with 2. You really, really think? I don't care what the schedule is, because it's every gift to Sunday. No team fears. I don't fear one team. I don't fear one team, because if you have Tyreek Hill, Teron Armstead, Xavier, you have the foundational pieces that you have on this team. You should not be afraid any Sunday going to a game that we are that we're an underdog. For me, I believe that.
So let me ask you a question then, Evan. Yeah. Let me ask you a question then. What do you think about that Eagles game?
That Eagles game is our measuring stick.
We got the Eagles game and we have the Kansas City.
Yeah, but the Chiefs game. The Chiefs game is more of an even playing field because we're not playing in a Rousey Stadium. I'm actually really considering going to the Eagles game because it's one of those games where I say to myself, that I might wait a little bit, but that's one game I'm like, the Dolphins are doing extremely well. I'm probably just going to bite the bullet and go because there's they're doing one of the tailgating parties there for the Dolphins, so I might just bite the bullet and get there. Yeah. But that's the measuring stick for me for this season. Not because
Scotty says it's the Eagles game is a Super Bowl preview.
Yeah.
But I believe Miami's going to meet with San Francisco 49ers in the Super Bowl.
That all depends on Purdy, right? Yes. It's all up to Purdy. Because I don't think Lance is ready to do it. If Purdy doesn't come back 100% healthy, you don't know. Right?
I think Purdy will be fine.
Yeah. But he's the game man. But I would take Purdy over. I would take 2 over Purdy any day, right? Like that's the one advantage. They have the defense, they have the offensive line, they have the running game, they have the foundational pieces. But for me, the Miami Dolphins, they better get 11 more because 9 wins with Flores with the offensive line of crap. Last season, with the injuries and having Skylar Thompson and Teddy out there with 2 getting injured, and we only had 9 wins. Because people are saying we're going to get 9 wins fully healthy. Are you crazy? That's insanity. You're off the bandwagon. If anyone comes on this show or comments that they are going to have 9 wins again, get off my lawn. Get off my bus. No. It doesn't make any sense. It's not. No, because honestly, if we can only get 9 wins with a healthy team, with adding Vic Fangio,
we have big
adding returners, adding players, improving our linebacker core, adding more players to the offensive line, adding more wide receivers, adding more corners. Are you crazy? Are you like? I don't care what people say. There's 53 people on a team. There's 53 men rosters.
Fins up, Steve.
Steve, what's up? The Buffalo Bills, I want to tell you something. The Buffalo Bills, because they have Josh Allen, I want to remind people, what has Josh Allen won? He's made it to the playoffs? What has he won? Last game, he lost the first game against the Dolphins. The second game was because of the fact that McDaniel messed up not running the ball towards the end of the game. The playoff game, they almost lost the game with Skylar Thompson at quarterback. We all know if Tua was 100% healthy in that game, the Miami Dolphins are winning that playoff game without even thinking about it. Who do they have? Diggs seems unhappy. You have Leslie Frazier's not there anymore. You have McDermott now having to go call the defense. They haven't improved their wide receiver core. They lost linebackers. They haven't added to their team. They have not. Yes, they all the Dalton Kincaid. Woo! You think Dalton? There's 53 men on the team. We have players at every position. They They added a player or two from the draft, but they didn't add any superstars. They didn't add players to our team. We've added players that are impact players, and we're bringing back Tua. And the times you faced us, Tua, we gave you the game. We gave you the game. Lamar Jackson? Oh, woo. He's added Odell Beckham. Doesn't fear me. Doesn't like. What are we worried about? Kansas City? We're playing them in Germany, and we can go offense to offense. You don't think Tyreek Hill has a chip on his shoulder?
I think we have a better defense. I think we have a better defense.
We have a better
than
defense
their offense.
And you don't think Tyreek is licking his chops? The fact that they won the Super Bowl without him? Are you insane? For me,
our defense is better than their offense. That's going to be the difference in that game. Watch. They'll get after Patrick Mahomes. I bet.
Yeah, I agree, Scotty. 100%. And I agree, Scotty. There was no big dogs, but I see 11 wins. This team is a 12 win. I believe they're a 12 to 13 win team. I'll take 11, but I'm not going to say to myself that they're a 9 win team. I cannot. There's no game for me. And every team's even. The first game beat the Chargers. I cannot wait. There's no nerves for me. Why? Because the defense they called last season. Who invented that defense? It wasn't Brandon Staley.
Yeah, exactly.
It was RDC. And you don't think that Tua's facing that defense every single snap?
Yep.
You don't think he's going to be ready?
He'll be ready.
People don't realize we have wizards. We have wizards on our coaching staff because Bobby said it last season. The key to us, the key to last season was the improvement of the coaching staff. Wait, our coaching staff got better. So. What is there not to be positive about?
Our coaching staff got better by a long shot.
It's not even close. Like we have.
It's not even funny how much we improved in coaching alone.
And also our backs coach that came from San Diego. He left the Chargers because he's a disciple of Fangio Hall. Like there's so much to look forward to. This is why we're going to be on the bandwagon every single week to the end of the season because we're going to remind everyone what it's like to be on the bandwagon and no more realistic takes, no more hedging our bets. It's all about the Super Bowl, baby. Yeah. I may not want to attend the Super Bowl because I know people who have attended the Super Bowl and they're stuck in the field for 6 hours. Wherever Hank is for the Super Bowl, when the Dolphins are in it, I'm going to be. That's what we're doing. We're having a Fins Talk Sports Network powwow. That's what we're doing for the Super Bowl. I look forward to this season. I'm hoping I can get down to 1 or 2 games. I'm going to try. I'm going to do it. I just need to figure out which games I want to go to this season.
Well, hopefully you come down to a Miami game.
Yeah. I wanted the cool part about Miami for me is I have a place to stay, which is really, really great. So I'm trying to balance that out, and I can hopefully figure something out with tickets because I know the tickets have gone. But I'll figure that one out. But at least I don't have to pay for the hotel stay. That's the cool part. But I know you probably want to go have a bite to eat, and guys, don't forget to like and subscribe on this network. I forgot to do that at the beginning. We're over 900 subscribers. We're trying to get to 1,000.
I don't see enough likes. We need more likes.
If you subscribe, you get a free lifetime ticket to the bandwagon. And no matter what you say, I won't throw you off. I promise. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers. It's really important for this network. It's really, really key. Look at our cool graphics. We're back. Look at how hard Bobby works. He is the hardest working guy in podcast television, if you want to call it that, or the podcast world. The guy never eats, lives, sleeps this network. He gets us so motivated every day to be on this show. If it wasn't for him, Hank and I would not be able to do this. So do everything you can to like and subscribe and join these shows. Comment. You're going to be welcome on the show. Anyone who's been in here, shoot us a DM at FinsPause or at Fins to Win on Twitter, or now what they call it X. I'm never going to be able to look at this thing. It's very confusing. I see this big X and I go, what am I doing here? It's very confusing.
I go looking for it on my iPad and I keep going by it because it's black now. It's black and white. It's in blue.
Do you know he has lost more money in a year than most people? I've never seen. He's lost more money in a year. All the money he's lost, he's still the richest guy in the world. It's insane. It's really, really, really good. Yeah, but Hammer Time, you're right. Everyone's Fangio because he's so quiet about it. He's like a deadly assassin. Like you don't understand. He has this defense licking their chops. He gives you one. Like you said, he gives us he gives you an extra win without even by walking into the building. He gives you one more win without just walking into the building. He gives you a win no matter what. But no, it's going to be a lot of fun, Hank. We're welcome back to the bandwagon. It's a pleasure to have you.
Welcome back, Evan.
I know it's a pleasure. No, we're back. I needed the break. We need the hiatus. There's only so much you can talk about, but there's only so much positivity you can talk about when there's not much football going on. That June-July period is really like a death nail, right between mini camp and training camp and OTAs. It's really tough, but we all
look fall asleep and have the drool coming out.
Exactly, but honestly, we're 5 weeks away from the start of this season. I cannot wait. Every show we're gonna have so much to talk about. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Following this show, we have No Holds Bar with Alex, Alfred, and a bunch of us. I'll be there too. Previewing SummerSlam, and then on Saturday after the Hall of Fame ceremony, guys, Zach Thomas got his due. Good for him. Great honor for him. These are great people visiting with him in Canton this weekend. He really has his due here. Hope we have a couple of Hall of Famers on our roster already who are on their way to Hall of Fame careers. So don't forget to watch Fins Talk today at a special time of 2 p.m. post Hall of Fame ceremony. And then there's more coming on the network. Like, you have the Beer and Sports podcast, these 10th Street Boys, Real Talk Fins Talk, Fast Break. I'm sure Bottom Up Fins Up will be back at some point. We have Once Upon a Sunday. Get your fantasy football ready. Trust me, I've been watching that show to get myself ready for fantasy football. Tomorrow, I don't know if there's going to be FUBAR. I'm going to find out in a few minutes that there'll be FUBAR tomorrow night. But guys, we have so much going on the network. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hank, what are you doing with the rest of your evening? You going to have some grub?
I'm going to go eat, and I'm going to apologize to my wife for taking up so much time doing other things other than spending it with her.
Tell her that when I come to Florida for a game and you're staying at the Stadium Hotel, meals on me.
Fins up, Alex.
Fins up, everyone. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe and be here with us every single Thursday night at 8 p.m. at our new time. We didn't want to overwhelm you with Dolphins content on Tuesday nights, so we were going to have our special night on Thursday nights. I am so excited to have Hank back with me, my pops. We're having a lot of fun here. Just join us, and if you ever want to join the show, just drop us a line. You're welcome to join. Fins up, everybody.
Fins up.